So, I am officially a licensed motorcyclist here in the US. It only took 12 hours of riding experience within the span of 2 days in the hot Indiana summer weather. It was brutal, I won't lie, but it was so worth it. But alas, I want to talk with y'all about my experience, what I went through, what I expected versus the reality of how the course was, and I'll give like a small range breakdown of what happened and the future preparations that I plan to take going forth. Now, I want to be upfront and put a little disclaimer on there. I am by no means an expert in any of this topic. I just started learning how to ride a motorcycle, and passing the MSF course does not make me an expert or very knowledgeable into how motorcycles work or what the best practices are. All I know is that I know how to ride a motorcycle in the parking lot, and I have a license to buy whatever bike I want, which is crazy, and I could go out on the road if I wanted it. So just take things that I say with a grain of salt, but I just want to share my experience of what I went through and what I learned, and share that with you guys so that hopefully you guys can get something out of this video if you're planning to take the MSF course in the future or just want to tag along. So let's do this. So I came in knowing little to nothing about motorcycles. I've been on them as a passenger before, but never really been on the front seat. Now, I have done extensive mountain biking in the past. Right here, there's this place called Brown County here in Indiana, which is really great for mountain biking. It has a wide range of different trails you can do. So that's pretty much the extent of my experience when it comes to a two-wheeled vehicle. I don't know if a scooter counts or a moped, but I've done those as well. However, I did watch a lot of YouTube videos before I took my MSF course. I think I was watching like at least 5-6 YouTube videos a day for like 2 months before I actually took the course, just because I was excited, and also because I wanted to learn as much as possible about how the bike functions, how to properly ride it, and like things to watch out for, like safety, how to operate it, how to take care of the bike, how to service the bike, and stuff like that. I made a whole playlist that I have just of videos that I found useful. However, you can watch all the YouTube videos out there in the world and you can become a knowledge expert on a topic, but unless you go out there and actually start riding a bike, you really don't know much. Because learning about these concepts, like book learning, and then actually applying the concepts are like completely two different things. And I found that out pretty quickly once I was out there on the motorcycle, which was kind of fun, I won't lie. It was a little daunting at first, but it was kind of fun. So the biggest thing for me early on was getting over my nerves. Things like, am I doing this right? How do I not stall the bike? Am I properly sitting right? My body position correctly, and things like that. I was very nervous at first. I did stall the bike a few times. I was letting go of the clutch too fast, and it's funny because I couldn't even start the bike on the first day. I'd press the key on button and nothing would happen. It turns out that I was riding the Rebel 250. It has a fuel line, which I didn't know what a fuel line was at the time. Now I do. I had to turn it on and I had it off. But you know, little quirks like that you just don't expect coming into, they're going to pop up, and it's just good to come in with a mentality that you're not going to know everything. Even though you've watched a bunch of YouTube videos and like you've prepared yourself as much as possible, you're not going to know anything. I mean, you're not going to know everything, and it's okay to not know everything. That's what the instructors are there for. They're there to teach you and catch you up, because they're assuming that everybody that goes in there knows nothing about motorcycles. And that's the nice thing about the MSF course. As the day progressed, I got a little bit more and more comfortable with the bike. And I noticed that as my confidence went up, then so did my skills, in a sense. So one of the biggest lessons that I took from this course wasn't even about the bike itself or riding. It was more about the mindset that you have to have going into learning how to ride a bike, or even learning a new thing in general. First of all, if you have like a closed mindset and you're not willing to adapt, you're not going to learn anything, and you're probably going to fail a lot, which there's nothing wrong with failing, but you need to be in an open mindset and willing to take in new concepts that you can then apply for your writing. And if you have any questions, ask. It's important that you ask, because the concepts that the instructors are teaching you, they build upon each other. And if you fall back in one of the concepts, let's say you don't fully understand the concept, then the next concept that they're teaching you, you're not going to fully understand it as well, because it's based on that previous concept. So if you have questions, it's important that you ask those questions so that you can get that clarification you need. That way you don't fall behind and you actually get the most out of that motorcycle training. Because keep in mind, this MSF course is only 2 days. 2 days is very, very little time in order to learn how to properly ride a motorcycle. You're learning the basics of how to maneuver it, and it's just like the tip of the iceberg, and it's just so much information condensed into such little time. So things are moving quick, so it's important that you have that open mindset and try to adapt fast to the information that you're getting into. Second thing that I learned and that I took out of this course was your emotions too. Try to control them. I know it's hard, but if you're freaking out and you're stressing too much, that's going to impact your learning ability. Take a deep breath, hold it in for 10 seconds, and then let it out. Repeat that. It will help calm you down. Trust me. I've been through horrible panic attacks, and that technique has always saved my life when I'm in a very bad situation. Just take a deep breath, hold it in for 10 seconds, and then let it all out slowly. That will slow your heart rate down. It would bring your cortisol levels lower, which will help you concentrate better. So now that you're in that appropriate mindset, then you can start taking the information and applying it, which is really important. Overall, this course taught me that it's okay to make calculated, responsible, and control risks. Now, I don't mean yanking the throttle and doing a wheelie right off the bat when it's your first time on the bike. I don't mean going 80 miles per hour in a corner. Those are irresponsible risks. They are not really calculated. They're obviously not responsible, and they're not controlled at all. They're very uncontrollable. Those are just dumb risks. You're gonna get yourself killed or hurt pretty bad, or hurt someone else too. You don't want to do that. You really want to understand how the bike works first. Understand how your actions affect how the bike functions. If I give it more throttle, what is that doing to the bike? You're applying more power to the engine. You're applying more power to the back wheel, so you're speeding up, right? Understand how your brakes work. Right? One thing that I didn't know beforehand was how to properly use your front brake and your back brake. I didn't know, I mean, it makes sense now thinking about it, but I didn't know that as you're braking, your bike wants to lean forward because inertia, right? When you brake, you're loading more in your front suspension because your bike is leaning forward. So naturally, you're going to get more braking power from your front tire, right? But what's happening to your back tire? You're easing off weight from the back tire, which means it has less braking power now. So when you're braking hard, you're supposed to ease into the brake lever. You don't want to just grasp your brake. You don't want to do that because then bad things can happen. You want to slowly, but as you're doing that and you're slowing down, you want to apply more pressure. For the back brake, you want to apply more pressure, but then you want to ease off the pressure on the back brake. I am by no means an expert on how to operate brakes on a bicycle. This was what was taught to me at the MSF course, so do take this with a grain of salt. Do your due diligence. Don't take advice from me. That's just what I learned. But yeah, there's going to be many things like that where you think it works some way, but then once you actually start thinking about it and learning, you're like, oh, it doesn't actually work that way. Little concepts like that just got me thinking I need to understand how this bike works better. Because once you understand how the bike functions and how it works, now you know how that affects your riding. Think of it like a system. In a system, you have a box. That's your system. Your system has what's inputs and outputs. The inputs you give it determine the outputs you're going to get. Garbage in, garbage out. So it's important that you understand what inputs you give into your bike and tell it what to do. That way you get the appropriate results that you want to obtain from riding your motorcycle. So understand how your bike works. Very important. Practice, practice, practice. You're going to fail, and it's okay to fail, but do it in the most controlled environment as possible. If you know that you lack the skills for slow speed maneuvering, don't go out and practice in the middle of traffic. No, go and control as many factors as possible. Go to a parking lot. You eliminate the factor of traffic. Now you don't have to worry about traffic. You don't have to worry about hitting someone or someone else's car. That eliminates one factor that you now control. Control as many factors as possible. That will help you learn a lot faster because one, you're not risking other people's lives or property or yourself as well. And two, it's going to put you at an ease of mind. It's going to put you at an ease of mind, which is then going to help you learn better. Because if you're practicing slow speed maneuvering in the middle of traffic, you're going to be worried. You're not that skilled enough. There's always going to be that itch in the back of your head saying, oh, what if there's a car? What am I going to do? And that's going to affect your learning, I think. So yes, you will have to get there eventually, but take those baby steps to get to that point first. First, get comfortable riding, mastering those techniques in a controlled environment. then go outside into the public roads and then start applying those techniques that you've already learned. Like a lot of things in life, it just takes time and dedication. So I'm going to keep drilling the fundamentals going forth, building that muscle memory, and hopefully before I even know it, we'll be out on the road doing a cross-country trip. So I'm really excited for that. The only thing I'm still nervous about is fixing my own bike. I am not mechanically inclined, even though I'm an engineer. I focus more on like data science and stuff like that as my job. I can tinker around with stuff. I used to tinker around a lot with like little parts on electronics and stuff, and I've worked on engines before, diesel engines, but it's always been shadowing someone. I've never really done stuff by myself. And so that's the thing that worries me the most about owning a bike, because I know owning a bike comes with a lot more responsibility when it comes to maintenance. You have to do more frequent maintenance checks. If you need to fix something, yes, it's easier to work on a bike, but also it requires that a little bit of knowledge. It'll be okay. We live in the area of like almost infinite information. We have YouTube for free. There's a lot of online articles. We have the user's manual for the bike as well. So I'll be fine. It's just something that to think about. We'll cross that boat when it gets there. We'll probably get there sooner than later, but we'll get there eventually. And I'll record it too. If I ever need to do maintenance on my bike, I'll make a YouTube video as well. So with that being said, I have my license. Now I need a bike. That video is coming soon, so stay tuned for that part. I haven't gotten it yet. I'm in the process of looking for a bike, and I'll see you on the next one once we get that bike. I hope you gained something out of this YouTube video. If you did, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know how I can improve these videos, what you guys want to see out of this YouTube series as well. I know I've talked a little bit about how I want to take this channel, but if you guys have some ideas or things that you guys want to see coming out from these YouTube videos, let me know and I'll consider those as well. So thank you guys for watching and stay safe out there. So cheers.